So, so basically, I stopped last time at the question. So, what's stopping us from basically accessing a value in the class directly and like setting it directly instead of using going over getters and setters? Well, in object-oriented programming, oftentimes, or actually, it's actually the practice of object-oriented programming to define all variables that are used in the class as private, because the user the person who uses the class shouldn't know what's going on inside the class, and they should be just working with the methods and not the variables themselves. So now we're going to define all of the wherever you see real and image, the imaginary parts, as private, which is done with the two underscores in front of the name. So we're just going to define. We're just going to add those two underscores in front of every time we see real and image. So we're defining each wherever you ever see it as private. So these variables are private now. Let me just check. Here we go. All right, so I believe everything is good here. Let me just do one last check. So self real private return self real self image self equals val. All right, everything is good to go. So in object-oriented programming, everything is private. So, and then we're going to add two more things to this. We're going to add some like restrictions. So we don't want the case where the user inputs something that isn't of the type int or float. So we're going to say in our setters, we're going to say not in int or float. We're going to say raise the exception. And it's going to say real part must be a number. And then we're also going to do the same thing for the imaginary part. There we go. Let me just... There we go. And then we're just going to change this to image. All right. So here we have these sections. Now we're going to check for this. So let's erase this. We're going to do try and accept. So let's write this out. So we're going to say c dot set real. And here we go. We're using a sequence this time. And then we're going to say accept. Whoops, accept exception. And then we're going to say as e. And then here we go, print e. As you can see, this actually worked. So, and it's also like, so this is how we should be doing things in object-oriented programming. So define that your variables as private, and be sure to have restrictions on what can be input. So, and we're also going to do the same thing for, as you can see, we can't access private values because when you make them private, they can't be accessed outside and they're treated as non-existent. So C basically doesn't have this because it's private. And that's pretty much for that example. So let's move on to the next example to help illustrate how to properly use OOP mechanisms. So we're going to introduce some other methods into our examples. So let's delete this. We have all this from before, and now we're going to use imported module. We're going to use the math. So here we go. Let's make some more. Methods. So what these methods are going to do, they're basically going to define the polar form of given complex numbers. So let's define some excuse me. So we have get real, set real, and then we're gonna have before sets, the setters, we're gonna have define. We're gonna say they're gonna be called get fee. So we have get fee, and then we're gonna also have define. We're also gonna have oops, I should have said before that to be more organized. So we're gonna have def modulus. So it's going to be called define. We're going to call it get modulus. Have the argument self. All right, let's type this out. So what these do, get modulus is going to return. So we're going to do math. We're using modules here. Square root. So square root. We're accessing self get real times self dot get real, and then we're going to do plus self dot get image times times self dot get image. So this is going to solve the modulus of this part. So here we go. That's that. Pretty long, but this is just an example. So as you can see, I'm basically making methods that will be used to simulate the complex number. So in whatever you're doing with the class, you have methods that have attributes and you have methods that reflect the actual real-life applications of your object or your class of the class itself. So now we're going to do fee, and then return. We're going to have return math dot a10 of 2 of self dot get image colon, and then we're going to have, so we're getting the tangent 2 of the following. So self get real, and there we go. So let's actually clean this up a little, make it more readable. So it's also good practice to make things more readable, have like a space between each method or function, whatever you call it. And there you go. All right, and so now it should work. So let's do the following. We're going to define complex. Here we go. Complex. So -3 and 4. There's our instance of the class. Print. And then now we're going to do C, get. See, we have all kinds of functions now. So we have get modulus. And then we also have C dot get fee. Don't forget your parentheses. And there we go. Those are our answers. So we define the polar form of the given complex numbers. It should be noted here that we can call a method from another method. That is what we did in methods get modulus and get fee. We called getters real and imaginary of the real imaginary components. So we used other methods inside one method so we can use them within each other. So knowing this, we can have the following constructor. So instead of having this from before, we have the following. So we can erase this, and we could say self dot set real, and we have self dot set image, and then we have image. And there we go. So basically, we went from what we did doing it directly, like this. Hold on, let me just erase all this. Instead of having it look like this and directly doing it, we can do the following. We basically use the method to set these values in the initialization of an instance. And that's pretty much it for the example. We hope to see you next time.